hand, he's a guy who's a lot more willing to challenge the metagame with his own unique decks. But I also know that he's a guy who usually plays to win. So we're going to open up Mage versus the Warlock here. And wait, who's the Mage player? Is it Faramir?
Forsen is the only player who brought the Mage here, so it has to be Forsen on the Mage.
Okay.
Oh, it does seem to be handlock.
Job's done.
Yeah, handlock is very good at the moment. This is the first Warlock we've seen all day, too.
The first non-banned Warlock we've seen all day.
True.
I think is really the precise way here.
So I'm looking at the AoE cards as being the big MVPs. A lot of these minions have 3 health early on. Snow Chugger, Mech Warper, and the Harvest Golem.
Oh my
no matter
god.
how much you build it up. Whoa! Double Mech Warper.
That draw is insane.
Whoa.
He's not going to be able to Hellfire fast enough. I think this game might be over.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, what if he picks up Molten Giants? Do you think that'll be a big swinger? If he can Hellfire Molten Giant?
Yeah, I guess. Always a pretty big swing, but look at that board right now. What the hell is that?
So effectively,
cow.
he's gained 1, 2, 3 extra mana by doing all this.
1,
Right?
2, 3,
Or 4
5.
extra mana?
5.
Oh wait, because he coined. Oh yeah, because he coined. Right.
No, the coin is 6 then. It's 2 mana discount on the Snow Chugger, 2 mana discount on the 3/4, 1 mana discount on the second Mech Warper.
Oh, you're right. I was
Like it's
counting
innervated
it
3 times.
Yeah. Pretty nuts, and it's just gonna continue to stack because he's just got the sickest hand. But like we said, this is where Hellfire might not be fast enough. We'll see.
Oh, he actually played. Wow, I don't like that play at all from Forsen. He just played into Hellfire.
Yeah, I think he got a little greedy.
Like the Tinker Tech stays alive.
Well, Tinker Technician is still here. And he's just gonna push relentlessly, put Faramir at 10 health. That is perfect for Molten Giant range.
Yeah,
And
Molten Giant anti-kill butt.
I think he's got Sludge Belcher too. That's an awesome viable option as well.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I guess you're still not afraid of dying to Fireball Frostbolt yet, because it's just 5 mana. Like, as much as hard to believe, this is still turn 4 or 5 for both these.
Yeah.
Healbot. Interesting. Okay. Guess he's just really paranoid about potentially just dying.
I don't know what he would die to outside of like an Owl Silence and like a Frostbolt.
Right. I mean, that seems to be what he's worried about too. Should kill off this Antique Healbot to play around Shadow Flame as well.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Not afraid.
Oh, he doesn't. I'm a little behind you, I guess.
Oh, my
I've
apologies.
refreshed.
Well,
I've refreshed. It's alright.
Faramir picked up an owl, which means he can get the Shadow Flame off now. He just attacks into the Annoyatron.
Yeah.
And, well, it looks like Forsen
Done.
might be toast this game.
Toasted.
Unless he picks up Runner. He needs to pick up Burn from this point on.
Whoa, that burn.
Well, I mean, it's stall.
Yeah.
Stall into the burn. I mean, the Annoyatron still is going to take 16 points of damage.
Oh boy, Drax. It literally needs to be burn into burn.
Yep. No, even that's not fast enough because Jiraxis comes out the following turn.
Oh, it's fast enough now. It
Yeah,
is fast enough.
He needs to Frostbolt the face.
Yep. To the face.
Oh man, and his opponent needs to not draw any heal. No Farseer, no Siphon Soul. Okay. I've seen this happen far too many times on ladders before. Needs Fireball or Bust.
Fireball or bust. Oh. So sorry, Forsen.
Yeah, I mean, Forsen still thinks he might have a chance. but the
No
Jiraxes
chance.
will lock it out of the game.
No chance at all. What? No, he's dead.
Oh, is he
Oh
dead?
no, he's not. No, he's not. He's not. He's not. Got taunt. Forgot about the horny thingy.
You face Jirax.
The horny.
Yeah, what's that thing called? It's just the horn.
The blast mage.
No.
Oh, you
no.
mean the the
Yeah.
rusty horn? The rusty
horn. Okay.
I had no idea what you were talking about.
Yeah, that's alright. I'm not even sure.
What can Forsen draw here?
Deathwing.
He needs
Nope, the Deathwing.
Alright,
A freeze. Nope.
Yeah, he needs to freeze temporarily, but it looks like Forsen's out for game number 1, and Faramir
That
will
was a
take
really
it.
quick one.
Yeah, I mean the mech mages games are always super quick.
Mhm.
I do think you bring up a valid point that he may have given up his pilot. Warrior can really take initiative on the board a lot better now. No, like I talked to some of the handlock specialists on ladder, and they really like Warrior against handlock.
The mulligan phases in the spectator mode are like pretty buggy.
Yeah, if you join like mid swap, then it looks like they sometimes only draw 1 card or no cards in this scenario. So I wonder if Forsen is running any additional removal, because Warrior got some other tools to play with. I know for a couple days Warrior were experimenting with Bouncing Blade and Crush, but for the most part they have been highly unimpressive.
I think I've only been crushed once, and it was like I think it was on a very crappy 2/3 creature. That it was either Mech Warper or Snow Chugger, and it was the full 7 mana crush.
It's funny. Yeah, I don't really know if that's viable, especially considering your 7 mana slot now goes to Dr. Boom, even though you don't really plan on playing Crush for 7 mana. Wow, this is very proactive from Forsen. He's going to hit the Ancient Watcher preemptively to deny any kind of silence, and then also kill it off on the collateral.
Let the pain speak to me.
How would you consider hitting face execute here? I have to do the play.
Highly consider it. Forsen doesn't even think about it, just snap calls. I mean, it is one of his most experienced decks, so he's pretty familiar with how this matchup pans out. He's got a second Death Spite too, that's good, so that he can answer the Sludge Belcher. I mean, it paves the way for Dr. Boom to be super effective as well.
Actually, I like the instead of the sacrifice there, I like using the Cruel Task to finish off the thing, so you get 2 draws off Acolyte. Now you still have the 1/2 taunt in the way.
How would he kill the first body of the Sludge Belcher?
The 4 attack and then the Cruel Task to finish with 4 damage. And then
Yeah,
the
they could
Acolyte
cast your
does
own.
1 to the taunt, so you have a 1/1 Acolyte versus a 1/1 taunt, and you get an
Gotcha.
extra card off the Acolyte that way.
He could be thinking about how he has Grommash in hand already. And he's just lining up for a quick kill. I mean, just look how fast Forsen's playing.
Yeah, right now there's such a big threat. And not a great way to stop it. Your Faramir. I think pretty decent answers: Mountain Giant, Dark Bomb, Dark Bomb.
Yeah, 2 Dark Bombs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Job done.
Sounds pretty reasonable. Everything else is just asking for trouble based off that AoE.
Yep.
Alright, Dr. Boom. Gotta get in there. Pretty straightforward. Doesn't want to be defensive at all. He wants to be aggressive. And if he has the damage, he can kill him next turn again. He has Grommash in hand. Whoa, how do you deal with this if you're Faramir?
So many possibilities.
Got a
Hellfire?
Flame Hellfire.
Hellfire could be. Whoa! If you Hellfire, then like take a lot of damage to face. Molten Giant Defender of Arcus. Wow.
Yeah.
But then what if you lose your giant in the process? Like, what if it just hits your giant for like 2 and 3 damage and then you just lose it? Such high risk, high reward. The only alternative really is to just be defensive and taunt up, but that doesn't feel good. Mortal Coil. Gotta act quick, some of these animations take a while.
That was a mistake.
Oh, no taunt!
That's game.
Wow. Greetings, greetings, greetings.
Faramir ran out of time,
Greetings.
and as a result couldn't
Greetings.
set up a taunt.
You gotta love that.
Wait.
In,
You have
in
to kill
friendly matches when players face each other, you can spam emotes as much as you want. There's no.
Oh, he
there's
didn't
no
attack
time.
with the Boom Bot.
Boobah was worthless.
I know, but you just do that. Well, that's a pretty big slip up from Faramir. Costed him the game right on the spot. We don't know if that could have turned out the same way regardless, but...
Alright, apparently they decided to start the game, so we're gonna watch him play out the game here. I ended up going with the Druid, not much of a surprise there, didn't see the mulligans, but we can see the result of the mulligans, and it's looking pretty good. No early game play, no innervate, none of that, but the Warrior does seem to play out pretty slow, and I think just the card quality in the Druid's hand is gonna keep him in this pretty well.
Yeah, well, he does have a pretty slow start, though, and it does look very good for the Warrior when you do that, because then there's no minion damage, and as much as you fight and contest as much for the board, you need the combo to be threatening Warrior every single turn. What happens in the late game is that Warrior can't remove, be defensive, and stay at a combo range. Usually, in like you have to choose like 2 of the 3, and oftentimes it comes at a sacrifice of efficiency. That's what makes the matchup so tough. But in this scenario, you probably can, because Sludge Belcher is very hard to deal with. You are going to be able to remove minions pretty efficiently, and you're going to be able to weave in armors, because you do have shield block and you do have armor up. So I'm liking Forsen's spot here right now.
Alright. I do think Farmer's still pretty okay.
Oh yeah, I mean, Druid always has a big rebound potential. It doesn't matter how slow they are, it's about... I mean, it sounds really cliche, but it's about how you finish. But more specifically, it's about how they pick up in the mid game. There's already Ancient of Lore, which still gets more draws. And if he can get other pretty annoying cards like Shade of Naxxramas to start building up in the next turn or two, that's still like something down to 5 or 6 turns from now, he's going to be worried about combo.
Now, what do you think about that swipe? The Spectral Knight still dies. I feel like the swipe is basically like killing off at 1-2.
Yeah. I mean, he wants him to use the weapon, though. He wants him to use it so that way Ancient of Lore comes down safer. So it's okay if it pans out the way he did, but say there was another alternative to kill off Spectral Knight. I don't know, if there was like Bomb Lobber and Cool Taskmaster, for example, then that would have backfired dramatically, in my opinion.
Oh man.
Oh, he can innervate Cenarius. That's even better than Ancient of Lore.
Forsen does have the Brawl if things get a little out of hand. He has quite a bit of health buffer to see how it plays out. But Forsen's still fine here.
You're playing directly into a Shield Maiden turn, which you can expect your opponent to have Shield Slam by now. Oh, he also has 7 armor, so it doesn't even matter if he had Shield Maiden.
Problem with Forsen, he just doesn't have any creatures.
Yeah, it's all reactive. Every single card in his hand is reactive.
For the Lich King!
But there's some pretty good reactive cards, though, to be quite fair. I mean, Sylvanas, just when there's a Spectre Knight on board, is really strong. This is also really powerful, too. The fact that you can get 2 5-drops out. It's so interesting how so many decks have stopped playing Black Knight, even though Sludge Belchers and Taunts are still, like, prolific at the moment.
I think it's because a lot of the mech decks don't run the taunts. Even like the Zulok, because I think the first card that they cut is Voidwalker.
Gotta kill the Deniatrons, man, somehow.
Yes.
You're right. You're right, though. There is really no taunts in mech decks. Huh. Well, Xanax Rammus does come into play. Needs to deal with this Barongeddon, though.
7 damage is a lot to take here. I think you need a better solution. What is that better solution?
Is it like bad to like Cenarius plus buff and then kill? That's really bad.
That's really bad.
What?
I'm trying to think outside the box here.
I'm thinking like swipe face might not be too bad.
Yeah, swipe face, and then play your Driller Druid the Claw.
Yep.
Yo, he's gonna take 7.
And he's gonna lose the shade. That's really, really bad.
Well, I mean, he can't really guess for the Whirlwind, although I feel like Whirlwind's been cycled in very commonly in Warrior decks.
Yeah.
It's just so effective against a lot of the smaller creatures. It used to be because of Hunters, but now even against mechs, it's just so useful. Alright, so back over to Faramir. He's got that Ancient of Lore to start gathering some cards.
Pilot Sky Golem.
Yeah, the Sky Golem.
Man. People are talking about like that card seems to fit in the meta a little bit better than Cairn. It's like the 6-drop that you kind of have to kill 2 4-ish drops, kind of, maybe. And I mean, I kind of agree with that. Just the 4 attack off Cairn is often not that threatening. Just ignore it.
Yeah, fair enough. It's also like such high enough impact where the 4-drop usually drops you around the 4/4 stats, so it's very comparable to Cairn in a lot of ways. And it's a mech, which is nice if you ever synergize off of it. Although I really don't understand too much of why you would run it in Druid over Cairn. I guess it's more fun to play Sky Golem.
I understand it. I mean, if you play Spectral Knights and you play your Druid of the Claws, and I mean, you just don't have anything that does 6. Again, for the exact same reason, it's better than Cairn. It's like diversity.
Sure, gotcha. And also the 6 tack does make it pretty clutch against certain things like Sludge Belcher, as opposed to Cairn, which is like you need your hero power. Touche. I think he might be afraid of potentially dying, so he's taunting up his Druid of the Claw again. That's 2 times Druid of the Claw has come down and taunt, something you don't expect to see much in this matchup. Oh boy, Dr. Boot comes into hand, and that's going to make a pretty dramatic impact, considering it's still very far away from Combo being able to kill off his opponent, so Faramir has to fight against potentially a lot of damage here.
At least he's got the combo.
Yeah, but I mean, aren't you worried about dying potentially on the next turn if you're a Druid?
Yeah, I think you can heal. I think you heal hero power down to 3/1 and kill the remainder with 5. Or not.
Ooh, combo to clear.
Combo time.
That ain't Falco.
What?
Oh, it was, you ever watched that Super Smash Bros. Video about wombo combos?
No. I just thought, like, Rekful came up with wombo combo, so then I started using combo wombo.
Yeah, there was,
I should have known Rekful's not that innovative. Damn. I'm a second.
I'm sorry to shatter your hopes and dreams. There was a big 2v2 match in Smash Brothers where they were talking about wombo combos, and they were screaming and stuff. It was a lot of fun. Faramir took a little bit extra damage too by attacking his hero into the first body of Sludge Belcher as opposed to the other way around. So I think he's a little bit rattled at the moment. He's definitely a player that does get stressed a lot. He always talks to me about how playing gets just him so nervous. Oh man. Well, Forsen feels really confident here. Gonna armor up.
I have no time for games.
Man, those bombs really suck today. I'll play it on ladder. I know how good Dr. Boom is. This tournament is not doing him justice.
It's not a good representation.
Yeah.
Wow, Forsen played so risky. He didn't even play around the second possibility of combo, which, I mean, Faramir does have another piece of it, so it could have easily gone the other way. But thankfully, it hasn't, and now he's going to be able to hopefully continue to advance his board state.
Looks like it's going to be an execute play, especially now with the draw of the second one. I think dropping down the Big Game Hunter is a reasonable play because the only thing you're really afraid of is Ragnaros. And if he has Ragnaros, well, that's what Sylvanas is for.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, also, if he has Keeper of the Grove, he still has to worry about Sylvanas too. So if he uses it on the 4-2, you're still okay.
And he also
Wild
has
Growths
lethal
back
this
to
way.
back. Oh, also good point.
I can see.
And that's game. That's 3, 4, 5. That's 12.
Wow.
Drew it down. Oh, Forsen with the politeness, GM. He's thanking him for the game, the great game
Yeah.
we shared. Something
Yeah,
like that. It's
Forsen is
along
quite the
those lines.
gentleman.
Yeah. He looks like a gentleman. Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely a
Faramir's on his
guy to
last
open
deck.
the door for you.
It's kind of hard to swing back the other way. But usually it's slow enough that, like, usually both players draw fairly mediocre, and it gets drawn out a very long time because they gain too much armor. So we'll see.
Job's done.
Yeah, it happened with an earlier series with Clento versus Tice. Pretty tight all around. Not necessarily sure it'd be the case here, because it seems like Forsen is feeling pretty aggressive in this entire series. A lot of his plays have been quick. So is Faramir. Faramir likes to be a quick player too. But it seems like for the most part, Faramir regrets his decisions every now and then because some of them have been pretty, well, let's just say it's not his best showing. I know Faramir is a much better player than some of the things he showcased today. But the series isn't over yet, and we've seen plenty of people come back from a 2-1 deficit. Especially with Warrior.
Alright. Well, slow starts for both players. Both players have shield block, shield slam combos. Basically nothing will stay on the board for a long time. A lot of armor will be created.
What do you think is the highest armor we'll see this game?
28.
28, that low. All right. I'll bet around that too. I'll probably say like 35 plus. No way. I don't know. I'll bet it's just way too high. Although it seems like it's really, really slow starts from both sides.
Yep.
So slow, in fact, Forsen's
actually,
just gonna whack with his
yeah, I like
Firewall.
Forsen's line of play. You just keep the armor low. But it's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, it makes sense. Granted that Fiery War Axe doesn't get much value in this matchup. You're gonna kill off the Acolyte to Pain with it. Maybe even an Armor Smith. Probably the 1-2 slime, but for the most part, not really much.
I think it's slime meets slime here.
Yeah, Sludge Belcher is just so annoying, Crib. It still is annoying, even now. Like, even though it's been out for about 6 months now, can I fairness? No, not about 5 months. It feels so problematic. It takes 4 hits from both sides to kill off a Sludge Belcher.
Yeah. And I mean, any removal used on a Sludge Belcher is kind of a good thing. It's just a card that really just absorbs removal. It doesn't really do much of a threat on the board by itself.
Yeah, definitely
Right now,
suboptimal.
looks like Force is playing a bit aggressively, and we talked about that the aggressive player does seem to often fare better in this matchup, but doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like he really did anything.
You're right, it hasn't panned out for him, but the knight is still young. He will be able to get Dr. Boom out first, which might promptly take a Dr. Boom in response. Oh, well, he just drew BGH. Maybe that won't be the case. I don't know. It's very interesting with the Dr. Boom interactions because it has such a potential to just blow a huge lead into the mirror matchup. But yet people are still figuring out what's the optimal way to play around him or into him, especially if you have your own Dr. Boom. Not really sure at the moment.
That's aggressive.
Second shield slam.
Shield slams be flying. Yeah, Forsen's putting stuff on the board first, but feels like Sylvanas just stops that.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Faramir thinking it much slower. Willing to chip away some of his own armor, and I think seeing 2 shield slam makes him feel a lot better about some of the threats in hand.
Yeah.
Let the
Absolutely.
pain speak to me. Back to work.
Whoa. Gonna drop immediately the Acolyte and the Cool Taskmaster to draw a card. Catch up a little bit. Pick up Execute number 2. So he's got all of his removal lined up.
Yeah, but like creature-wise, Faramir's hand is so rich and Forsen's is so weak. Like you have Dr. Boom, you have Sylvanas, you have Gromash, you even have Harrison for when a weapon comes through, you have more draw of your own Acolyte. Yeah, you don't have removal, but Forsen doesn't even have enough removal right now.
Well, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. He can deal with this board and place his own Dr. Boom in response. Have to imagine this is what he wants to do. Whirlwind Execute into Dr. Boom. The thing is, Forsen, how is he following up this aggression? Because he doesn't have his finishers like Rag or Gromash in hand. Like, if this when this Dr. Boom gets shut down because he has Big Game Hunter, where do you go from here?
Nowhere.
I've got the beast
Oh.
on my side.
Taking his luck with the bombs.
I guess the payoff was pretty significant. Only a 50% chance that the Acolyte would die immediately. Well, Barongeddon's not too shabby.
Oh man. Nope.
Oh, he's
Brawl
gonna
time.
brawl? What? That's not real. Cool Taskmaster.
Oh! Oh, that was good. But for Forsen, it's not so good. His hand is
No.
looking pretty weak right now. Oh, Fire War Axe into don't hit with it. Fire War Axe and don't hit with it. Oh, hit with it. Okay. Well, Force is desperate enough that this is being played.
Yeah, I mean, it's still fine, because otherwise it would have been 3 more damage otherwise, so being able to grab it is okay. And he picks up Death Spite, which is pretty decent. And the hands are starting to even out, because he has a way to answer almost everything in hand. Although now
the
Faramir plays his
Harrison
own.
trade is pretty big. I
Harrison
actually
into
think I would have
shield.
liked the Armor Smith there. Oh, never mind.
Wow, that's pretty funny.
Yep. I don't know what I'm talking about, apparently. Gotta have faith. Faith in the top.
Why do you ever doubt your deck?
Yeah.
It's there for a reason. Oh, I don't know about executing Harrison.
I think you just put your faith in
rag
the rag.
tag?
Like, what's the worst case here? The warrior takes 16. Sounds good.
Oh. Okay. Hits Harrison.
No time for
Actually
games.
doesn't have removal for it.
No, he's got Sylvanas. Still a little scary because Sylvanas always might get silenced or some way to be dealt with, and then Ragnaros is still very much a threat.
Oh, let's go
Just
with it.
pass.
Oh,
Whoa.
man.
Balls on this guy. Well, now Sylvanas will go for the steal, right? There's no way you're gonna let it go again. Oof. Turning the
Damage.
aggression right back. I mean, this matchup was not been slow at all. Both these guys are starting to really turn it on here.
I don't even know what you do here.
Back to work.
I guess you just rely on Rag missing again.
Made to fit.
Gonna armor up. So that's 19. Trying to think if he can go for like a 50-50 lethal of some kind.
1 out of 3.
Yep.
And it's actually only 1 out of 3 because he drew the silence. Without it, I don't think it was.
What now? I can wait no longer.
He can clear the board. It's not lethal, but it's very close.
Work.
I still think you can just set up for a pretty strong board otherwise. Put him down at 2 health.
Yeah. We know Forsen doesn't have a brawl. We know he's
The beast in
like all of his removals.
No, he can't even
Wow.
play Baron Geddon. Because he's just so low on health.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's over. Owl silences Rag. Rag hits the guaranteed.
Yep.
8.
And that should be the game for number 4, and we're gonna go get ourselves another
Actually,
game
wait.
5.
Did he miss lethal last turn? The Rag? No, it's because of
No,
the
no, no,
armor
no.
set, right? He couldn't silence both Rag and the armor set.
Yep.
That's right. Alright. Well, it's gonna be the final game. Forsen, what does he have to rely on? These games have been pretty drawn out. It's Paladin. It's the deck that he banned.
It was just another mind. It was like basically another mind control tech that didn't have anything on board. So, a few times it can work out. I really like the mid-rangey version that Powder has with like you scale into Tyrion, but you still have knife jugglers and whatnot. Yeah, and even a cog hammer. And I think this is that version. Although he does have like the haunted creeper and whatnot, which implies that he's heavily board centric. So, not sure. I'm just gonna take it as it comes, Crip, because I'm not exactly sure what paladins are building the 30 card list.
We saw the cog hammer in the previous Palion. Oh man, what was it Lothar's matchup against
Yeah.
Hosty? Hosty actually thought that cog hammer to kill Lothar's last deck, if I remember correctly. I think
You're
cog
right,
hammer's
you're
a
right.
1-of in the deck.
Yeah, and then Lothar
got
had
5
like, this sort of
weapons.
justice, right? It was a very interesting combination.
Yeah. It's a lot of
2
weapons.
Iron Beaks. So, I feel like it's an aggressive deck because Iron Beaks are just primarily so that way you can get more damage to the face in.
Well, right now, I mean, the Paladin's off to a great start, but you have to keep in mind, like, the Warrior's going to stay in this for a while. Especially with that brawl, he's going to get a really good chance to take back the game. So, I mean, those owls, they're good, but they don't remove stats off the board. That's the main problem.
Yeah, it's a good
And
point.
you're
And now
forcing,
that he,
like, you have to be clued in. Like, right now, you have to be clued in. He missed the clue against the handlock when he was playing the mage. Right now, you're getting brawled, Forsen. Don't play anything else. Oh.
use hero power.
Oh, yeah, he just hero power for sure.
Okay. Is Cog Master also or Cog Hammer, excuse me, also acceptable?
Not really. Like, you want your Divine Shield taunt to be on a creature that you know will survive until next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Shielded Minibot don't agree with that at all. I think it's very obvious from that silence.
Yeah, well, I mean, pretty much any creature that survives is also easy to deal with too. So Faramir going for this brawl is going to be able to try and kill off as much as he can.
I mean,
I guess if
I'm pretty sure those are like kills, like photos of people on the sides, but I'm pretty sure I saw a smile on Faramir's face when he played that extra mini bot there.
yeah, yeah, no doubt. Oh, but the Knife Juggler survives. That's
Big
pretty
one.
significant now that he has Coghammer to back it up.
To the
Still a
face.
lot of damage.
All damage. One of the main cards that's going to help here is going to be the yes, here's some gems to start, but then the Doctor Boom should take the board quite decisively.
Right. Well, Forsen's not happy about that.
Oh
Got
man,
2 Knife Jugglers.
I'd even play that owl, man. Forget it. It's owl time.
Oh man. I mean, he missed his juggle, so
Yeah.
I think it's. I guess it's not worth it. Plus, Whirlwind can just destroy it. He is getting to critical levels of health too.
Yeah, but he
12
has
health
shield block
remaining.
and Alistraza. He's gonna have a great bounce. I'm actually gonna be pretty surprised if Faramir loses this game. Hand is just too good.
Unless Forsen has a divine favor in his deck, which
I'm sure he
I
does.
don't think so.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Think so?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, still a pretty significant amount of pressure, and it's still 1 turn before Alex Straza.
Mm-hmm. What can you do here? You can do a. I like execute Doctor Boom. Like suddenly the juggler's not so good when it's sniping boombox and dying.
Yeah, Shield Maiden seems super defensive, so that way you can get to Alex Straza. If I didn't have Alex Straza in hand, I
It
think
just
I would
feels
have
overly defensive. Like yeah, it's better this turn, but like Doctor Boom wins you the game. Does it not?
Let's see, how much health would you be? You'd be at 10 health. He'd actually be dead, wouldn't he? If that was the case, because he would have had 10 damage through.
Oh, from the Argus.
this right now. Yeah. So actually, because he ended up playing safe, he ended up surviving. Jeez. No restraint to the face.
Chance I gotta play this deck, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you have to beat Alex Straza, right? Or you just die?
Yeah, I think you have to do Alistraza.
There's no way to play around it, like with... No, there's just no way. Like, you can't like double Knife Juggler or anything like that. Or sorry, I mean double Armor Smith. Your opponent will have 8 damage remaining.
That was a
Muster for battle.
Oh my god, what a
Forsen!
misplay.
What? No!
Well, there goes 3 damage.
Oh my god.
That was a mistake.
Oh my god.
That was a mistake. That was a mistake.
That
Oh.
owl play is also
Everybody
terrible.
pour another shot for Forsen.
That was actually a double misplay. Because now playing the owl, it really only puts 1 attack on the board. Because now when the creeper dies, it only spawns 1 body.
Yep.
2.
Oh man.
That was 2 misplays in 1 turn, right before he's about to take the win there.
Still will be okay if, let's see. Got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. He's 4 damage off. I don't know. I don't know anything unless he has a charger in his deck.
Oh, he's got... Oh, what? No! You have to play the owl first on the armor smith.
Oh man, that's so much armor gonna be gained back.
That's another misplay.
Forsen's playing too quick. Gotta go fast.
Job done. Justice, demand justice,
Forsen,
justice. I am sorry. Thank you.
How much life is gonna be gained here?
That was a mistake.
2, 4, 6. A lot.
I think you have to play Gromash.
What now?
Yeah, I like Gromash too. It gains you another 2 health.
I think you Gromash into the 4-3 first.
Oh
Just
man.
to see what you're dealing with.
Doomsayer.
It's
Alright.
pretty good actually.
Swampoos. Oh my gosh. Wow, Armor Smith single-handedly carrying Faramir back from the depths of the abyss. And he's gonna climb back up.
I'd say the carry is about equal with Forsen's terrible plays the last 2 turns.
On a scale from 1 to Dennis. Where's Forsen landing right now? Oh man, Aldor Peacekeeper. After the fact.
Job's done.
I mean, Faramir would have 4 or 5 less health right now. I mean, there's a lot of things that could have been going differently. He also should be taking 3 more damage.
Yep.
Because of the true silver champion. And by all means, I think Forsen realizes that at this stage, I don't know if he even deserves to win based off like how he's played this so far. Like, I can't even imagine a card that would pull him out here, but even if he did, it's like, there's no justice in the world if Forsen wins from this point.
The only card that I see him winning with is Tyrion.
That's true. I guess, well, he still has Ragnaros to, like, race him.
Faith in the light.
Oh,
Tyrion.
well. Oh, gosh.
Reporting for
Alright. So, that weapon will do 15 damage.
Yep.
But, I mean, Faramir can just go for it, right?
I think that Shield Maiden draws really big.
Yeah, that just negates one of the weapon swings. But don't you want to rag here to start putting on serious pressure?
I guess.
Yeah. Here we go. So it starts like a 2 or 3 turn, no, probably 2 turn clock here after this shot, where Forsen has to figure out a way to win.
To arms, men.
All right. I mean that's damage to a certain capacity as long as it's directed away. Oh man.
There's no way. Like, he's gonna be at 17 effective health here in a second.
Shield Maiden, Shield Slam.
You get 2 draws off the Cruel Task. Yeah, Cruel Task, Shield Maiden, Shield Slam. Got 1 mana left over. No, can't do anything else.
Justice, demand
Okay.
justice, demands that was I am sorry.
That's as defensive of a play as you can get.
Yep. Pretty much nothing left here for Forsen.
No.
And, well, I think that's going to wrap it up. Tyrion has been dealt with.
Oh.
Oh, well. Will that matter? Huh. It might set up an interesting 50-50. Nah, there's no way. It's just too much life. Even if so, he can just use Dr. Boom and whatnot to chop down. Well, I think we're about to see the final moments of the game here. I mean, it almost doesn't really matter if Sylvanas take...
I kind of like killing off Sylvanas here.
You mean just killing her?
Yep.
Alright, right, well, I like
Oh,
just
that
killing
works.
your opponent right there.